We are going to discuss this week's topic. This week's topic, as you see above, is why do some men tell adult entertainers things they never tell anyone else? On Spicy Spectrum, we have honest conversations where we discuss and talk about topics surrounding my perspective working in the spicy industry and what I've observed about men, what I've observed about human behavior, about society. And this live is to educate and have constructive dialogue. I'll try to steer away from arguments as much. I don't mind disagreements, but the rules are to just be respectful, and you can also join the conversation by coming up on stage. You must follow the account in order to join me. And yeah, that's so. Today's question: why do some men tell adult entertainers things they never tell anyone else? That's the question of the night. That's the question of the night. And one of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of people have of those who work in the spicy industry, those who come and check out those in the spicy industry, the industry as a whole, is that it is solely based on sex. And that's not always the case. There are other reasons why people come to see us. They may come to see us for companionship. They may come to have a listening ear. There are several reasons why someone would see an adult entertainer. So we are discussing that question, and both men and women are welcome to come up on stage. It's not limited. You do have to follow me in order to come on stage. I know last week I was in random rooms on live, and I didn't show my face, and I'm showing my face now. So my face will be shown throughout lives weekly every Monday now. I know I said that I'd cover my face and not show it, but why not? I'm going to show my face on camera. So I've been in the spicy industry for about 4+ years, and I've spoken to thousands of men. A lot of men confide in me with their deepest, darkest secrets. They tell me things that they may not feel comfortable telling their partners, tell their friends, tell their families. And so today we will discuss this week's topic that I will expand on my podcast on Wednesday. So we are answering the question, and I'm curious to know anyone's thoughts. Both men and women are allowed to be on stage. You just have to follow me in order to join. Why do you think some men seek out or tell adult entertainers or anyone in the adjacent industry things they never tell anyone else? That's the question. And the floor is open to anyone who wants to join. I have had men come and tell me everything and sometimes I know more about their life than their family and friends do. And so a lot of times a lot of men seek our services to find a safe place to be themselves and to not feel judged. So that's my answer. I'm curious to know anyone else who may have thought, why do some men or women, I know some women have gone to see me too for services, but we're talking about men today because that's my topic of the podcast this week. And I encourage you to join my live. Again, you must follow me. I don't mind if you disagree or agree, or if you have a comment. Anyone is welcome to be on stage and answer the prompts, the spicy prompt. I've seen all variety of types of men come to see me. I've seen religious men, men of different political backgrounds, men of different ages, legal ages and up, men who are in college, men who work in corporate, pastors, all kind of men they come and see me and they tell me their dirty secrets. And I know sometimes I have some women too who may ask online, like, why would my boyfriend go on this site? Why can't he just tell me what's going on? And a lot of times I know some of my clients may feel like, well, their partner may out them. They may out what they're really into and tell people. So they come to me to have a sense of discretion, a sense of not being judged, and also being anonymous, because I don't know these guys' names, their real names. I don't know where they live unless they tell me. I don't know their friends and family. And a lot of times their partners do. Their partners can out them on something that they're into. So I'm curious to know if anyone else may have any thoughts. Why do you think some men may seek adult entertainers for their deepest, darkest secrets? If you want to join up on stage, all I ask is that you turn off your camera. You do have to follow my account to come on stage. And the floor is open. I mean, but last week we talked about male loneliness and my perspective of what I see behind closed doors with men who are experiencing some sort of loneliness, who come to me for companionship or just to have an listening ear. And a lot of the guys I see me as their therapist. Even though I'm not a certified therapist, they see me as someone who they can confide in. And I'm curious to know anyone else's opinions. You can also write it in the chat too, as well. Why do you think? Why do you think some men may seek out fantasy spaces to live out their true selves, or a side of themselves where they don't feel comfortable sharing with other people? I'm curious. And for me, I don't judge anyone who I've seen. I've seen it all. Like, if a guy comes to me and he has this quote unquote taboo fantasy, I'm like, I've seen it all. I'm not going to judge you, because it's kind of my job. So I see a question. Someone says, my question is, does this block you from being able to fall in love with a man? No, I'm actually dating. I'm dating right now. No, this is not. At the end of the day, at least for me, I can't speak for everyone, right? For Pepper, I view this as a job, and I can separate job from my real life. And I usually date partners who feel comfortable with me. I'm totally fine if someone doesn't feel comfortable with what I'm doing and they don't want to date me. That's totally up to them. Like, everyone has a choice, and I respect people for having preferences. So, but yeah, I thank you for the love. Yeah, I date and I work in the industry, but again, I can't speak for everyone. I only can speak for me. But yeah, I'm dating, I'm having fun. And I have usually just dated people who have been comfortable with me in the industry. So yeah. And my thing is, I think everyone has a right to choose who they feel comfortable dating. So yeah. If anyone wants to join me and answer the prompts and come on stage, you just have to turn off your camera and make sure that your noise is off, and you have to follow me. Last week, I had some random people come into my stream. And I was like, what the heck? 'Cause it was my first time live. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, how did you get in here? So now I have a setting where you have to follow to come on stage. What is your viewpoint on marriage? I think marriage is beautiful. I think, if you want to get married, you should. And if you don't have to. I think it's whatever a person does, however they define it. I do think marriage is changing in terms of how people live their lives and what kind of partners they find. And I think you should get married if you want to, and find a partner who wants to get married. So, yeah. Marriage is changing too. There's a lot of open relationships and non-monogamous, monogamous. It's all evolving. So, yeah. Why do you think some men go to the spicy clubs? Why do you think they go to these spicy sites and tell their deepest, darkest secrets? Are you someone who's told their deepest, darkest secrets to someone like me? And why do you think that is? Why do you think some men may feel uncomfortable telling their partner certain things that they may tell someone else? That's the question of the week. That's what we're diving into. I know why in terms of me, but I said earlier what I think is that a lot of my clients don't want to be judged. They have fantasies that could ruin their marriage. Like their partner may out them, or their partner may leave them, or they're into something that could compromise their image. And so they come to us to live out their darkest fantasies. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, but I mean, I'm curious to know anyone else's perspective of why do you think that is? You know, why do some men think that they feel more comfortable, right? I've had men tell me things they never tell their wife. They've never told their therapist. Like they've told me things that they never tell their pastor, which I think it says a lot that some men who are religious come to me and they don't feel comfortable sharing things in their own environment, you know? So someone said, I think men do that because they have dirty minds that won't allow them to live a picture perfect life. You know what? I think I agree with the picture perfect life. I 100% believe that they're both men and women, but we're talking about men this week, right? Live double lives because society judges people and some people just don't feel comfortable being honest. And sometimes honesty hurts. Like, you know, I've had men tell me things completely honest that will, if they told their spouse, they would probably be upset or maybe open. Like, you never know. It depends on the person. But, you know, I've had, you know, some guys just feel like they're going to be judged for what they're into, or they don't want to be laughed at, or unless that's like they're kind of their thing. They like to be laughed at. But yeah, like some guys may just feel comfortable just keeping it a secret because we say, especially in the US, like we're all open and we're all free and you can be yourself. But the moment somebody is truly honest, it's like, wait, I don't want you to be that honest with me. I don't want you to be that honest. When really it's just, we're all humans. We all have our needs. We're all, you know, there's different parts of ourselves. There's dark, there's light. Everyone wants to show the light parts, though. They don't always want to be honest with each other and ourselves. Somebody said, especially certain career fields, they can't as what. Yeah. You know what's crazy is that I get a lot of men who work in corporate. I get a lot of public figures. Like I have a lot of men who have public facing jobs, who are pastors. Like I've spoken to men, I can't say too much, but I've spoken to men that if anyone found out what they've done or they're doing with me, it could ruin their reputation. It could, and it's unfortunate that like if somebody likes feet or something, I don't know. I don't know. Like it could, you know, people can laugh or kind of like how I did. They can laugh or giggle or judge them. You know, like it could literally cause divorces. But, I mean, you know, there's a lot of reasons why. And I often find that a lot of my clients, they want to keep things separate. Like they want to do this with the wife, and then I'm going to go over here and do what I don't want to do with my wife because I don't want to view her as not pure anymore. You know, not quote unquote dirty, because I have this fantasy that is it's a little bit spicy, and I don't want her to indulge in something that I am ashamed of or think that is too spicy to do, or I'd rather just keep things separate. I even have husbands who they have an agreement with their partner that, hey, I'm going to go to her and live out this fantasy. And she knows that he calls me or we do sessions together, and she knows, and it's open. Now, some husbands, they don't tell their wives, and it's their dirty secret, you know? So, I mean, that's why I say marriage can be When you ask me what do I think of marriage, I think it's evolving. I have clients who are outsourcing fantasies with me and their partners now.